Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Ify Artistry. If you're stopping by for the first time, welcome. So guys, in today's video I'll be showing you guys how I transformed my gorgeous bride. Okay guys, so I start off with cleaning her face with the Ghanaian micellar water and an angel wipes. So I cleaned up her face thoroughly with the micellar water. So before I start with beating anybody's face, before I start with anything on the face, I first of all make sure I clean my hands and make sure I clean and my hands are so clean before I start with the makeup. Okay guys, so after that I'm going to be putting on the moisturizer. You can see one of the reasons why I have to clean my hands and sanitize my hands is to make sure that because I'm going to actually use my hands in blending the moisturizer into her skin. So I love to blend moisturizer into the skin with my bare hands because that's how I'm actually very sure that everything is well blended in. Okay, so I go ahead with blending in the moisturizer into the skin. I have to use my bare hands to make sure that everything is well suited, because one of the things you have to do is to make sure every product you put on the face is well blended into the skin, because if anyone is like not well blended, it's going to really affect your makeup in the long run. Okay guys, so the next thing I put on the face is the Becca mattifying primer. Is actually a very good primer. I heard the brand is actually out of stock, but like this primer is actually one of the best best mattifying primer out there. So I go in with the mattifying primer on her T-zones because she actually produce oil only on her T-zones. Okay, so and equally on the brows, I don't like leaving my brows oily. I like to mattify the brows before I even go into doing the makeup. So after that I use my Kiss Beauty spray to set the whole skin prep that I've done. Okay, so after when I spray the Kiss Beauty spray, I use my fan to actually dry it. So after doing that, I go into the foundation. I think I'm going to be using the brands I used. I'll be leaving them on the description bar below. Okay, so I put on the foundation on her face and then I blend in with my beauty sponge. This beauty sponge is from Alabama Beauty Blender. I think I use the Alabama Beauty Blenders. Like their beauty blenders are so nice. Okay guys, so I blend into her skin and make sure I blend very well. This is one of the major thing in doing the skin work. Make sure your blending is actually so nice. Guys, don't mind that this video is a bit fast and some of the places we are actually cut out, because when I was doing the makeup, this is a bride, like she have to go to church in the morning, so I couldn't really get like every point to record it like the way I would have actually done had it been is a model that I'm working on. Okay guys, so moving on, I started moving on. I went into her concealer. I've used the light shade. I think I'm going to be dropping the brands or the things I use, the brands or the products I use on the description, because I don't know if I can really have to go back and be sure before I actually post. Okay guys, so I just highlighted her under eyes, her forehead and jawline and her nose bridge. Okay, so after doing that, I'm going to be blending the concealer. You know, so when I'm actually working on a bride, sometimes actually you wouldn't really know what to actually put on the face, especially when you are filming. So if I'm working on a model in the studio, I have to like go back and check. But if it's a bride, like you're already working and you can't really go back and look at it like as much as you would want if you're working on a bride or something, if you're working on on a model or something. So the reason why I'm saying that is because I think the concealers I use is a bit light. But even at that though, when I continue to work, I'm a makeup artist, I'm an artist, so when I continue to do my job and work along the line, I'm actually going to correct any fault, if it's bright or if it's dark, I'm actually going to correct it when I'm actually walking like along the line. So you guys are going to like see, but I'm going to, you know, everything is already well blended. So I actually did my contour and did my blush. I don't know, I can't say, but I'm going to leave every product I use on the description. Okay, so after that I move into setting her under eyes with the, I think of course I used Merak all through during my if I used Merak for my brides, so I would know. Alright, so I went into the Merak baking spice in the shade ginger. That's what I used. I used that to set on the eye. So immediately after setting with Merak, I actually go in with like a powder now, maybe a compact powder or any powder from a powder palette or anything. So once I'm done setting with Merak, I go in with another powder to just lock it in. Yeah, so after that I move into after setting the highlighted areas, I then start setting with the normal powder on her, all over her face, you know. Okay, so let's continue. So I'm going to keep setting. I think I was actually done with the setting. So I not only setting the highlighted areas, I set the contour, that is her face contour, the forehead, you know. Then after that I start using the Zulu palette for her blush. You know, I told you guys before in my last video I used the Zulu palette for the blush actually. Yeah, so after doing that, the next thing I did was her, to draw her brows. Guys, don't mind the people that are walking around when I'm walking. Like I said before, she's a bride, so like there's a lot of movement. So I started doing her brows, like I'm using the angled brush from Merak Cosmetics, and I'm using my brow gel from Haga and Esther. Yeah, so I use, well, I don't know but for some reasons I use only one brow gel, like just one, and my pencil. Like when I say one, I mean just one shade. Yeah, unfortunately I use just one shade for the brows. Like if I see somebody that is too dark, I mix it with my gel liner, like I mean the black gel liner. Yeah, so I mix it with that, and these have been working for me for God knows how long. So I don't know, I don't have the lighter brow gel or even a very darker one. I just have the one at the middle. So if my client is too light, yeah, I have to manage this. But I think it's actually a problem for me because I've worked on a white lady and this was dark for her. Yeah, so that's actually not so super nice, fortunately. Okay guys, so moving on, I'm just outlining the brows with my brow gel like I said, and then the pen.
Out, but the sky is gray. What would happen if I took a chance? It's always hard at first glance. I don't wanna, but I know I gotta do it. The truth is hard to swallow. I think I'll chew it.
Okay guys, so I continued. I'm filling in the hairs, like I'm making the false hairs, definitely false hairs, because like she doesn't really have hairs. So I'm just filling in the brows with my pencil, the Davis pencil in 003. Of course, that's what I use. Okay, so I'm just filling that in. I'm trying to make it natural as possible, because I don't like when my brows is not really looking so natural. So I love it when my brows is looking natural. Okay, so that is it. After that, I'm just gonna, I'm filling that.
I wish I knew.
Okay guys, so now I'm going to be concealing the brows. I'm concealing the brows with the angled, not an angled brush. It's a flat brush from the Merak Cosmetics. One of the reasons why I keep mentioning this brand, like I said before, their brushes are so flat, and they are the thing, they make my job so easy. Like, they make it so easy for me, so I use their brand. Okay, so I'm just concealing with the flat brush from the Merak Cosmetics, and the concealer I'm using should be from Nuban Beauty. I think it's Nuban Beauty in shade 002. And then the beginning of the brows, I'm going to be using the Zikel Cosmetics concealer in nude. Okay, yeah, so that is it for concealing the brows. I'm using the Nuban Beauty and then the nude from Zikel. Okay, so after doing that, I'm going to blend out, because I don't want the concealer to actually dry up while staying there. So because like this concealer is like, just leave it there for some minutes, you come back, you see that it's already dried. It will be so difficult for you to blend out at the end of the day. So most of the times, not all the time though, but if I remember, I blend it out immediately once I'm done, once I'm done concealing. Before I move over to the next one, I just blend out. Okay guys, so moving on, I'm concealing the upper part of the brows now with my angled brush. This is an old angled brush. Just concealing the upper part of the brows with it. Okay guys, so moving on, I'm going to be setting the brows now. I'm setting with a powder from my powder palette. I'm using I didn't say the palette I was using. Okay, I'm using the powder palette from Jaydriz Cosmetics. The Jaydriz Cosmetics powder palette is my newest addiction in powders right now. So I'm just using that to set the brow bone. So after doing that, then I'm going to my eyeshadow primer, and I'm using the Benign Clone White and eyeshadow primer. I'm going to just be putting that on her eyelid. So when I'm putting this eyeshadow primer, this particular Benign Clone White, just make sure as I'm placing it, like, I'm not taking out so much to start with. You see how it's white? Does not mean I'm not taking out so much. Honestly, I take out a little and I blend it all over. Like, if you can carry it, because like the thing used to be like, I don't know how to explain it, but if you can carry too much and just pack it on the eyelid, like, it's going to, I don't know how to explain it, but it's going to really be, it's going to be too much. It's not just going to be okay. So make sure you are not really packing it like a lot at the end of the day. Okay, so having done that, I'm going to be blending out the edges, because yeah, this is one of the issues you might actually be having if you are using this Benign Clone White. So after buffing out the edges, then I go into my eyeshadow palette. Trying to see the eyeshadow palette I'm using. Okay, so I'm using my eyeshadow palette. I'm going to be leaving that also in the description bar below. I'm using this eyeshadow palette, and I'm blending with an orange shade, obviously.
I wish I knew.
So at this point I'm just trying to deepen the crease more. So before I do, I place an eyeshadow most of the times, except I'm going for something so nude, like just so nude and so natural. But if apart from that, I would want to deepen the crease by adding something like a dark brown, or even if I'm using the black shade, I'm going to blend it in a way that you will never know that it's black. Okay, so I'm using the dark brown just to make the crease a bit dark, because I like it when my client or my model looks up and then, you know, they have this inner crease, like to just be in there. Yeah, so I'm trying to achieve that by, you know, making the transition line or the crease line a bit dark. Yeah, so after doing that, then I'm going to be placing this bright shade, or this is a pigmented eyeshadow. I'm just going to be placing that. Okay, just place. So before I actually got out this eyeshadow, you know, I use a fluffy brush to place eyeshadow quite alright. Then I make sure that the fluffy brush is actually a bit damp. It's not really wet but damp. Yeah. Okay, so after that I'm using an orange shade to blend out, to buff it out. Just want to give it a very I just want it to be beautiful. You know, most of the times I used to be too much with blending, like my own blending techniques used to be a little bit too much. I do too much. Yeah, I know. So I'm just buffing out with orange. You know, most of the time if you ask me why I do buff out with orange, I would say I don't know. Okay, so I'm moving over to the next side. Okay guys, so now I'm done with the blending. I move over to lining the eyes. So now I'm going to be lining the eyes with the black gel liner from Zaron Cosmetics. Yeah, and my angled brush, obviously a random brush. So I don't know, I can't remember, it has really been long I own this brush. Yeah, so I'm going to be lining. Just, you know, when I'm lining, I ask the model to keep their eyes stable as they can, so we don't mess up the lining. You don't just mess everything up, because if you do, obviously you won't like the outcome. So if the model or the client or anybody cannot keep their eyes stable, please ask them to close it. They better close the eyes, and you find your way and enjoy it than them moving their eyes around. Okay, then when you are doing the under eyes, you know, so I take especially when the model or the client tells me that they tear a lot, so I take it one step at a time. Like when I just like I have to like draw that, I have to just like line the eyes up to 20 times if I have to. I take it like just an inch within inches. If I take an inch, you look down, I take another inch. So that's how we do it until I'm done, to make sure you don't tear, because tears is my greatest fear in this job. Okay, so I'm doing the same with lining this side of the eyes. Obviously, just like I said, if the clients cannot carry it, please let them close their eyes so that you can have your way with the lining. You don't make silly mistakes. Okay, so I haven't done that. Then I'm going to be lining the under eyes as well. Just take it one step at a time. Okay guys, so next I move over to fixing the lashes and then using my mascara to brush out the hairs, the hair under eyes and all. So actually after doing that, I'm going to be using the powder from my powder palette to set the rest of the face. Again, not just setting, like taking out the excess setting powder I have on the face. Yeah, so after doing, I'm just re-emphasizing on the face everything I've done, the blush, the contour, everything. I reset the face. I have to just re-emphasize on them back. Okay, so just do it again.
Out, but the sky is gray. What would happen if I took a chance? It's always hard at first glance. I don't wanna, but I know I gotta do it. The truth is hard to swallow. I think I'll chew it.
Okay guys, so now I'm going to be using the setting spray to actually lock in the makeup. Actually, I'm supposed to be covering the face while doing this, right, like the eyes, but you know, I use the pigmented eyeshadow. I think that's why I kind of decide to leave that eyes like that, but I was supposed to cover it even if I use the pigmented eyes. You know, water sometimes doesn't really go well with anything on the eyes. Okay, so but it is what it is. Then moving on, my client is already dancing and feeling herself, imagine. Okay, so moving on, I'm just using my fan to dry and set the entire face, make sure everything is well, everything dries up, you know. But after doing that, I'm going to still use my beauty blender and push it in. Okay so guys, so after that, moving on, I'm going to be using my glow palette from the Art Cosmetics glow kit. I don't know, but I love that glow palette so much. Okay, so I'm just going to be dropping that. Like when it comes to glow, I don't really do too much, honestly. If I'm adding glue, just little goes really a long way. Okay guys, so over to the lips now. I'm going to be using my dark brown, of course, to line the lips. So this client actually made a request for the lips. She wanted a light pink shade. She said she wants it to be pink, not like full pink, but she wants it to be like a baby pink on her lips, because like I noticed her color is pink because her bridal robe is actually pink. So she made the request, and of course we have to give her what she wants.
be educated, but I'm so frustrated. Hello to my loneliness. I guess that ignorance is bliss. Take me back to before I knew. Rewind, take it out of cue. Innocence can be a young man's game. Signed up for the hall of shame. I wish I knew how much I miss not knowing that we're all screwed. When we play our roles and ignore the problems. I like to be away in my patience. Stay up, I feel so outdated. How can we look the other way? Sun is out, but the sky is gray. What would happen if I took a chance? It's always hard at first glance. I don't wanna, but I know I gotta do it. The truth is hard to swallow. I think I'll chew it.
Okay guys, so I'm just adding the light pink shade I have with me on her lips. It's from Becharmageless Cosmetics. Sometimes I don't just really know the names of these shades, like they're just too much for me to just have off head. All right, so so when I put this on, I have to use fan and dry it up because I'm actually looking for coverage here. So because this lip stain is actually a bit watery, I'm looking for coverage, so I have to dry it up a little bit, and then before she begins to smack. If not so, even if she smacks, you won't really see any of this, you know. Yeah, it's going to just disappear. So, or even after doing blending, everything will just like begin to go away. So I was trying to still retain the width, so I have to dry it up a little bit so that I have the coverage. Okay, so I'm moving over to I'm going ahead with blending, just blending it in. Yeah, basically mixing it together with the brown. The brown was not dark, it's not dark, just is a light brown shade. So I don't know why I'm already addicted with using browns for lining. Actually, lining should actually be with brown, but like I don't know, my own is like it's too much these days. Probably I'm going to be trying something else out next time. Okay guys, so she blended and I did a little bit of work, and then here we go, the end of the lips. And this is the end of the video. Thank you for watching. Bye.